Hi, I'm Dr. Haley Watson. I'm a clinical psychologist and I've been working with children, families, and teenagers globally for the past 15 years. And right now I'm filming this from my apartment in self-isolation, which I'm sure is a situation that a lot of you can relate to. And what I want to offer you in this video is some simple tools and strategies that will help you cope with this overwhelming challenge of COVID-19 that we're all facing. This is impacting us in tons of ways: financial, job security, health, being separated from family members, isolation. There are so many things that are going on for us right now, which can be really overwhelming and terrifying. And if you have kids at home, there's the added pressure of having to manage their reaction to this situation. And with everyone stuck in the house, there can be a lot of cabin fever going on, so tensions can be running pretty high. So if all of this is feeling overwhelming to you, this video will give you some simple things that will help you get through this. We have a part of our mind that's similar to the minds of animals. This is called our survival instinct. And it kicks in whenever we're under extreme stress and looks for ways that we can adapt in the moment to whatever threat we're facing. The first instinct our mind will turn to is whatever ways that we've used in the past to cope when we're under stress. So I'll use myself as an example here. Before I arrived home, I was in another country, and so I was in self-isolation there, but I was in an apartment that was unfamiliar to me, and I had no idea when I was going to get home. I was all by myself. My future was uncertain. I had no idea what was going to happen, and I was a bit stuck there, and I felt really lonely and isolated. So what my mind did is immediately look for my self-soothing strategies, which was wanting to eat a lot of chocolate and wanting to watch a lot of Netflix. So my mind turned to these strategies because in the past, that's what I've used to block out situations that were extremely stressful for me. I also noticed that I was getting more short-tempered than usual, and I was struggling to concentrate, so my mind was really scattered. These are normal reactions to stress. So if you notice yourself having any of these kind of responses, just remember to be kind to yourself and know that you're definitely not alone. You'll probably notice these patterns in your child too. So they might be even more engrossed in technology and social media than usual. They might start binge eating, or they might complain about physical symptoms, or become really worried about lots of things for no apparent reason. They might be getting angry a lot, or they might isolate and hide in their room. These are normal reactions, and they don't mean there's anything wrong with your child. They're just signaling that they're stressed and overwhelmed. So what we want to do is recognize that we are all in a state of crisis, and do things that calm our nervous system down so that we can focus on how we're going to make it through this in the short, medium, and long term. So I'm going to talk you through 3 strategies and approaches that can help with this. So the first approach is soothing your own emotions and the emotions of your children. So there's a couple techniques that I'm going to talk you through that have been helping a lot for me with this. So the first one is to picture a place that you love to be, maybe somewhere in nature. Somewhere that's soothing and calm. Imagine yourself being there and remember how relaxing it feels. If you do this visualization first thing in the morning and then bring it back throughout the day whenever you're feeling anxious or overwhelmed, it can be like an anchor that helps ground you and soothes your whole nervous system down. And you can also use this technique with your children. So you can talk them through that same visualization. No matter what their age, this is a really powerful tool that helps calm the emotions. There's another tool that can also help with soothing your emotions if you're feeling overwhelmed and anxious, and that's relating to your feelings as a physical sensation in your body. See if you can locate where it's the most intense. So for instance, I feel the anxiety most in my throat and chest. So bring your attention to the sensation itself and see if you can picture it. See if you can imagine it has a color, a shape, a texture, and a size. And as you're picturing it, also see if you can find another place in your body that's not feeling the sensation, like maybe the bottoms of your feet. Bring your attention to both of these sensations at once and take some slow, deep breaths. This helps you relate directly to the feeling itself, which allows it to pass and brings you back into a more calm state. This can also be used with children and teenagers of all ages if they're feeling overwhelmed and stressed. So once we've used some of these techniques to calm our emotions down, the second strategy that we want to start employing is choosing our thoughts. So when we're in a state of crisis, our thoughts naturally are going to go to a panic response. So they're going to be things like, how am I going to cope with this? I'm not going to survive. What am I going to do? We're going to be in this sort of negative thought pattern and cycle, which is really normal. But what we want to start doing is deciding where we're focusing our attention. So if we can start thinking of what is the next step we can take, even just a small step, if we start focusing on here and now, what's the opportunity here? How can I start moving through this? That has a huge impact. So maybe the next step is grocery shopping or cooking or applying for income assistance, or maybe it's resting if we're feeling unwell. Just focus on what needs to happen right now and take that next step. When we do this, we're reminding ourselves that we're capable and that we're moving forward. So we're creating our own moment-to-moment security and lifeline in the midst of all this uncertainty. And the third approach that can help us through this is to choose actions that connect us to our own sense of meaning and hope. We want to find ways to keep doing things that matter to us and that we care about. Even if it's just simple things like consciously treating others with kindness, or finding time to do some exercise, setting some targets for yourself, and keeping whatever routine you can around these activities will keep you feeling connected and grounded, so that you can keep growing internally even as things are falling apart externally. I know it's hard for any of us to imagine how we're going to get through this and what it's going to look like on the other side. But if we use these strategies to soothe our emotions, choose our thoughts, and take action that keep us moving forward, we will all get through this together.